Hello, hello. Gonna wait for y'all to hop on so we can get this party freaking started. Welcome, welcome. If you are joining me live, don't be afraid to say hello. Let me know that you are live. Hashtag live. Hi, Dana. Welcome, ladies. Welcome, welcome. Hashtag live if you are live, and hashtag replay if you'll be joining for the replay. I know we have some ladies at work. We have some ladies in different time zones in different parts of the world that are joining us later. But if you are here live, say hello. Let me know that you are here, that your heart is here. We'll just give it a couple more minutes. I'm sure you're wondering what's behind me, so we'll get to that in a second as well. We have 5 beautiful souls watching right now. Say hello, hashtag live if you are live with me right now. Hello, Dana. Hi, Sophia. Hi, Marsha. Hi, Sierra. Welcome. Hello, ladies. All right. Live. We are live. Yes. Let's tighten up the wheels here. Making sure that you all can hear me. Okay. Making sure that you can hear me. Let me know. I believe we have really good sound quality, so we're good to go. All right, ladies, let's get started. Before we get started, I am just gonna take a second to get grounded and to feel into the energy that's buzzing around the group, around everybody that's watching, and just really feel into the gratitude of landing here today with you all, to be serving from a cup that is completely full, to be giving you the energy, the love, the safety blanket that you deserve and that you're worthy of receiving. For those of you who I am just meeting for the very first time, welcome. Welcome to the Soul Awakening group. Welcome to your first live experience with me, Brittany Young. I am a soul activation healer, medium, and coach. I help high achieving women of power, wealth, and influence release expectations, receive, and reconnect to their hearts. And I am just over the moon to be here with you today to be talking about radical receiving, what that means. And in this 3-day course that I'm going to be delivering to you, 1, nothing has been planned. And 2, this is all about the energy that we're in today. We're going to talk a lot about old paradigm versus new paradigm and where we're currently at in the system of our energy, of our queendom, how to find that inner peace, and how to make radical shifts very rapidly and very quickly. And I want to share a little bit about my story so you know where I come from. That way you're not left wondering, who is this crazy lady and why is she talking about these topics? I started my business back in 2017, and it's gone through several iterations, different businesses such as personal training, holistic health coaching. I did a little bit of emotional eating, which I loved. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Jennifer. Hashtag live if you're here live. Hashtag replay if you'll be catching us on the replay. And just a couple of years ago, I was doing business coaching, and my heart wasn't fulfilled. I was very much in my masculine when I was doing my business coaching. And I was so far masculine and so far removed from that feminine flow, that ocean of love that you'll hear me talk about, because that's all that I knew. All I knew was to go, do, and not be in the flow, not be present, and have way more expectations than I could imagine. It's like, imagine having 24 tabs open on your computer and you're only focused in on one, but you need to have those 24 open at all times, because if you don't, the expectation of your own self is going to be freaking out. So that's where I was. And I was at crossroads of, who am I? What makes me unique? Why am I here? What's the true purpose of myself, my soul, my essence? And I took time to explore. I took actually a couple months to explore. And you know what I landed on? I landed in the middle of both energies and realizing that living in the land of expectations wasn't going to serve any other woman on this planet ever again, in my world. And the woman that is swimming in expectation really struggles to get out of that. She struggles to feel. And here's the wall that she keeps going up against, and she can't break through. And what happens is then she tends to give her energy to everybody else but herself. So she's got a cup that's not full, and yet she's desiring and desiring and desiring to fill all of these pieces inside that are missing. And that's where I was. And it didn't truly hit me until February, March of this year. It was a buildup, a very slow 2.5 year buildup until that point in my life where I said, I cannot continue hitting this wall because I know that I can't actually go through it. So what are some ways to work around it? What are some ways to feel that I can make this happen for myself, that I can push through? But I was met with my own resistance. And that resistance is the most debilitating yet rewarding place to be. So in March of this year, obviously I'm a business owner. That's what I said in the beginning. And I've been doing business, since the age of 16. I was in corporate sales for 15 years. I worked for pharmaceutical companies. I worked for oil and gas companies. I made multi-million-dollar deals. I signed on some really big ass clients for these companies. But that burning desire of going out on my own was so palpable that I needed to follow it. And back in March, my business brought in a big fat $0. $0. 0 clients. And I had 50,000 expectations of myself that my spirit wasn't desiring, my spirit wasn't aligned to. And yet I felt the need to control. I felt the need to hold on to literally everything that I was creating or everything that I wanted. But little did I know what I needed was to sit with my pain, was to feel, was to experience death and loss that took over every part of my body. And I needed to go there, and I needed to anchor into the pain. And by doing so, by walking with that pain, any feelings of these expectations started to be chipped away. And the most magical thing happened. I let everybody see who I was, the real me, the truth behind who I am, which is just a woman desiring love in all areas of her life. I broke down. I slept sometimes on the bathroom floor, just wondering when God was going to take me. And if you hear me talk about God, it's universe, source, God, light, love, whatever that power is that you truly believe in. And if you struggle with that power, that's okay too. We're here for all of it. There is no judgment here. As I was lying on the bathroom floor in fetal position and saying, Source, just take me. I can't do this anymore. I give up. All of these feelings of exhaustion, of fighting, of trying to push through. And I surrender and allow you to take these parts of me that don't belong. And it was painful. Not only as a business owner was it painful, but it was painful letting my husband see me break down and be completely vulnerable. Not being what I thought was present enough for my 1-year-old. Not being the happy-go-lucky cheerleader and activator that I am today. But had I not released the expectations, this interaction wouldn't be happening. If I was still wallowing in all of those, y'all wouldn't be here with me right now. But I had to go there and I had to experience that pain to then walk through it to give you the codes and tools to break free from just that tightness, that burning desire that's inside that you can't let go of. June rolled around after me breaking down to my husband and telling him exactly what was going on. $15,000 in sales, a vacation, better sex, more vulnerability between the two of us, a first birthday for our baby girl. I started realizing that celebration was needed. Up until this point in my life, celebration wasn't a thing. It wasn't taught. In society, we're not taught how to celebrate. You're not taught other than, oh, let's put candles on a birthday cake and sing to you, and that's it? What about celebrating the fact that you're alive? Or celebrating that you are breathing? Celebrating that you're even here today after all that you've been through. You can probably hear Avery in the background. But this is about getting really clear and anchoring in on who you are and why you're here and what makes you tick. And it's not about living in that little land of expectation. So that's where we're going to go to today and what we're going to talk about. And I've got my handy dandy board. So I hope you can see this. I don't know if it's backwards or not. Let me know if you can see the board. But day one, right? We're on day one, the Queen's rules, okay? So I want to make a note to each and every one of you right here that with the Queen's rules, and I'll talk about this, but oh, it is backwards, okay. Well, let me flip it around so you can see it. Okay, so we've got day one, the Queen's rules. Your job is not to figure out the how, the when, or the where. Your job is the why, the what, and the who. And the who is you, okay? So again, you are not responsible for how it happens, when it happens, or where it happens. But you are responsible for the what, the why, and the who. Got it? Awesome. So let me know if any of that makes sense up until now, because I know that either you can relate or you can't relate, and that's okay, but that's why we're here, right? So rule number one, releasing expectations. Rule number two, feeling safety and love. And rule number three, service to yourself. To yourself. Ooh, I got you there. Now, y'all know I said I was a medium, and I can feel energy, and I can feel a lot of you go, ooh, service to myself. What does that even mean? So we're gonna get into that too. Now, rule number one. Remember, these are the Queen's rules. The Queen receives. The Queen desires all of her expectations to be met. But you need to remember that the Queen has zero ties to the outcome. A queen is allowed and has every inch of permission to release and desire more. Release and desire more. And a queen can have expectations without outcomes, because her desire is the energy that she lives in. Now, what the fuck does that mean? In layman's terms, Brittany, please, you're confusing us. What that means is, I'll give you an example. You are a mom, okay? And if you're not a mom, you have a womb, and if you don't have a womb, you're a daughter, you're a sister, you're of service to yourself. And you're still a feminine being with or without a womb. And we love you just the same. And we call you into our tribe of femininity and divinity and the ocean of love. So, as a mother, or past mothers, generationally speaking, expectations or rules or ways of control have been passed down. You must do this in order to receive this. You get married and you check the boxes off, right? You get married to a man, you fall in love and you have babies. You check the box off of buying a home and you get a fantastic job. And guess what? You're not satisfied. There's that missing piece that you've been wanting or needing or deeply desiring and asking yourself for that. And you're looking in every direction. And who's that one person that you always turn to is mom. Because moms know everything, right? We like to think we do. And so you turn to her and she says, what more do you want? Every box has been checked. What's the problem here? I followed the rules. Why can't you? Who needs more when you have everything that you need, right? These are some of the rules that get pre-programmed and created in our mind's eye. And so then we go back and do our daily tasks. And yet that burning desire within is still there. I want more, I desire more, I'm meant for more. Go back to mom again. Listen, I told you this is the way it goes. Why do you expect more? This is the way we've always done it, generationally speaking. The old paradigm. Shut up, don't feel. Check the boxes, don't want for more. Don't speak unless spoken to. Don't feel. Don't feel. Bury it. Any shame, any guilt that you have, it's normal. Mom guilt is normal. Mom shame is normal. Women we just feel guilty. We just feel shame. That's normal. Let's live in that. And so then we're taught to normalize the mom guilt. And how do we do that? We then start to avoid. We avoid how we feel because that was the box that we checked off, that we learned. So we avoid feeling, and we avoid through alcohol. Maybe a little marijuana every once in a while, maybe a little drugs. Exercise. Wine. Complaining, comparison, competitiveness. Not recognizing our own self because we pushed her down and suppressed her to the point where she doesn't feel, because feelings are not okay. And we follow the rules. But a queen desires more, and she's meant for more. So if she's meant for more, and she knows that, why doesn't she rebel? A rebellious queen not okay, right? You start rebelling against all of these rules that everyone has put into place around you. What starts to happen? You get told you're not good enough. You're doing it wrong. You're guilted. You're shamed. You're looked at as the black sheep. You're told that how you show up, is not okay. And by you feeling anything, it's okay to numb your pain. It's okay to go out and normalize avoidance. But honey, that's not what a queen does. A queen makes her own rules. And what's the best way to release expectation? Because remember, that's our why. So why are you here today? You're here to learn how to release the expectation. The second rule is your what? And that's your feelings. My love, feelings matter. But now I am going to grab my notes because I wrote some really juicy stuff down. When you're hitting that wall, when you're feeling burnt out, exhausted, right? We get to that point of exhaustion and we keep going and we keep going and we keep going because everyone's telling us, check the boxes, do the things, check the boxes, do the things. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Exhaust, 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 exhaust. It's like Jack in the Box, right? You're turning, you're turning, you're turning, you're turning, and then all of a sudden you're expected to pop out with a big fucking giant smile on your face, Botox in your cheeks and your forehead. Everything's great. When in reality, it's not. I dropped my notes. So what do? You keep pushing. You keep pushing and you add on the expectations. I should. I have to. I need to. But where are your wants? Where are your desires? They're suppressed. They're being avoided. They're not felt. And so we go over and over and over again. And there's no way out of the exhaustion, of the burnout, which, by the way, has been clinically diagnosed as a new thing. But we women have been feeling this way for years. Did y'all know that women were not allowed to have a bank account, a credit card, their name on anything when it came to the bank until the 70s? Did you know that women couldn't vote until they stood up and marched in unison until the 1920s? Ladies, out with the old and in with the new paradigm. And the new paradigm tells us to feel. Expectations are not feelings. I don't have to be here with you today. You don't have to watch this live video. But we get to experience the potency of each other's energy and feel the fire together. Because when women come together and feel and love and express with one another, there's nothing stopping us. That old way of checking off the boxes doesn't exist in this new way of being. My friend, you're not a human doer. You're a human beer. You're here to be. So how does one release expectations? How does she go there? What's the process? Well, let me ask you. Are you tired of spinning your wheels? Are you tired of hitting that wall constantly over and over? Are you exhausted from going and doing more and showing up more and being there for everybody else? Aren't you fucking tired? Aren't you ready to release that? Aren't you ready to let it go and surrender it? So, number one, how do we release expectations? Well, it falls right into number two, which is we feel safety and love. Brittany, how do I feel if I'm up here? How do I do that? Well, the process to most of us, I would say 99.9% of us, is going to look really weird, difficult, unbeknownst to you and your energy. But that's okay. That's why you're here. So I want to teach you something that was taught to me months ago, and right before this call, left me in a puddle of tears and continues to allow me to go into the deep depths of my soul because Spirit wants me there. Spirit desires me to go there. And it's a very simple exercise and yet seems very complex. And I just want to point out, because now I'm hearing Spirit say that what I like to do when I teach, or rather when I activate, because this information is not new, it's just activating the fire within. I like to be audible, I like to be visual, and I like to be kinesthetic. So I'm touching all three of those learning points. And if you don't feel like, you can go there with me today, that's okay. Day 2 will be more in the kinesthetic, and day 3 will be more in the visual, okay? So, the simple exercise to start to learn how to release the expectations is one hand on the heart and the other hand on the belly. Now I'm standing, you can do this lying down, you can do this sitting and lying back in your chair. You could do it standing. And I just want you to breathe with me. Close your eyes. Just breathe. And we feel our breath. And we start to feel parts of our body. You feel the feet grounding and getting anchored into the floor, the grass, wherever you're at in your chair, placing those feet firmly on the floor. Feel the legs, the thighs, the womb space, the belly, the chest, the heart, the throat, and we land in our third eye, which is right here. And we roll our eyes upwards towards our crown. And I want you to imagine a white light shooting 6 inches from your crown up above. And that special person that may have left this earth, I want you to picture them and invite them into this space. For me, it's my grandfather. And invite them to love on you in this moment. And we're going to give your body the permission now to feel. And you're being asked by this loved one and by your body to start to explore the areas, not of the mind, but of the full body. So chop your head off, come from the throat down, right? Do you feel tension? If so, where? Do you feel content, happy, joy? If so, where? You feel anger and frustration? If so, where? And then connect back to your breath. As you're starting to feel these parts of your body and starting to explore these areas, because your breath is the gateway to the divine, to God, light source energy. And as you're doing this, find that space in the body that lights up and has something to say. For me, it's my back. Okay? And I'm going to ask my back, what would it like to say? What is it feeling right now? And it's feeling tightness. And I ask it why. Why does it feel tight? Why is, maybe there's some knots there. Why does it feel that way? And what comes up for me is fear. Fear of being in the unknown. And I pause. I pause here. And what happens when I pause is I literally allow my body to take over. And that feeling of fear to take over from head to toe. So, fear of the unknown. And I keep going deeper and deeper and asking why? Why do I have this fear of the unknown? What is it about that comes up? And it's fear of the unknown because the unknown doesn't have rules. I just get to be. Pause. I just get to be. And now for my lovely type A's and my beautiful women that live in the mind space, that are so deeply connected to your head and your thoughts and your mind fuckery. We have this thing called the heart, and we're gonna ask her to come in. I joke, but I'm serious. So we invite the heart in, and we ask her, hey heart, how are you feeling? What are you feeling? And she feels tight and tension because she can feel the back tightening up as well. And she feels that fear of the unknown, and so she starts to question. And my heart says, well, I'm sad that you feel and fear the unknown. And so the heart then starts to speak. Oh, I keep drifting. The heart speaks, right? And she does the talking. I'm going to open my eyes, and I want to make this a really key point for y'all. The heart, for a lot of you, is going to struggle having conversations in the very beginning of these types of exercise, because this is so used to taking over. This is so used to ruling and controlling and being the manipulator and having all the thoughts and the ideas and all the things that you need to do. And this is not a meditative practice. This is a feeling practice, and this is a practice. Practice. So we allow the heart to come into the space and practice and explore what it's like to feel. What does she have to say? What does she want to say? What does she desire? What is the energy that she wants to be in? And I'm going to explore this more with you tomorrow, because each day starts to build on the day before. But we're not done yet, because we still need to talk about rule 3. Service to yourself. Now, as I sit with my heart and I start to ask her, okay, what do you feel? Why are you feeling the things that you're feeling? And she starts to tell me. I feel sad, I feel angry, I feel frustrated. And so the body then asks her, tell me more about that. Why? Why do you feel that way? What's underneath the fear? And I want to tell you, ladies, that it's almost like a diamond, right? So at the top of the mountain is your initial reaction, your initial feeling. Anger, frustration, I'm pissed off. I can't get everything done on my fucking to-do lists. If I hear that one more person is in love with the to-do list, I'm gonna throw up. But in all seriousness, you're angry, right? Because you couldn't check off all your boxes, just like all the women before you told to do so. That rapid pace of doing of 150%, right? So I'm angry. Are you though? What's underneath your anger? Well, I'm frustrated. Okay, but that's up here, right? So when we connect mind to heart and we drop in, and the heart says, I'm sad. I'm sad because not everything on my list was completed. I'm sad because I'm exhausted. I'm sad because I've been fighting what I truly desire, what I want. And I don't know how to let it go. And I don't know how to trust. So, okay. Pause. Feel that. What does it feel like not to trust yourself? Unsafe. It's fucking unsafe not to trust myself. Pause. So we went from being angry and frustrated and oh my God, my to-do list. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. To, holy shit, I feel unsafe. I don't feel safe. I'm gonna cry. I don't feel safe. So we pause, right? And what starts to happen is that emotion comes in waves and rows over the body. And this, my friend, is the practice of releasing the expectation, because you start to feel. And because you start to feel, you are now in service of yourself. And you're trusting yourself that you can feel these emotions taking over the body. How many of you have had a good cry recently? Or better yet, how many of you have allowed yourself to go there? Have you? Because, beautiful, this is the new way of you. You see, the old ways of you are dying. I'm gonna get a little closer and say that again. The old ways of you are dying. You are dying, whether you like it or not. You are shedding the skin like that snake. And these layers that you think you need to raise up, right? You're hitting the ceiling. Why? Because they're not serving you anymore. It's not serving you to serve others when you're not in the energetic capacity to do so. That is out of energetic alignment. And when you're out of energetic alignment, what happens? You can't serve. I don't care who you are or what you're up to or how much money you're making. But if you're not in energetic integrity to yourself first, there is no serving. The energy is lost. And people feel you when you show up. And it's not about what you were doing. It's about when you're in the energy of the now, that is felt. If I continue to suppress and ignore who I am as a feminine being, even in my masculine, but if I ignore those parts of me and I don't address those parts of me, I go back to avoidance. I go back to the tip of the iceberg of the diamond, right? I go back to anger, I go back to avoidance, I go back to frustration, and I never reach the bottom. I never reach safety because I don't allow the divine in to my space. And I would rather continue doing all the things that I know that I'm so good at, because I deserve the recognition, I deserve the praise, I deserve, but I'm not in my desires. So my love, to release the tension and expectations, we must feel. It is imperative to go there, to start to learn how to express your emotions. And tomorrow, tomorrow I get to show you a practice that I am so in love with. I'm going to be throwing a temper tantrum, an adult temper tantrum. Yay. But if you're so afraid to feel, how can you ever find safety? And if you can't find safety, you can't serve yourself. On that airplane, when they say put your mask on first before assisting others, what happens? That mask drops down and you have a little child next to you and the door blows off and you wind up putting their mask on, and next thing you know, you're flying out of the airplane. And then you get to the pearly gates and God says, hey, what happened there? Why didn't you, why didn't you fucking listen? And you're like, well, I just wanted to be of service to somebody else. And he says, you had your chance to serve yourself first, my friend. But this is not learned, taught, felt. This is new. And as you shed the layers, and as you begin to die, and the parts of you start fading and falling away, you have a choice. You have free will. That's why you're here. You were granted permission of free will. That is one of the most beautiful human experiences that you can have. And I desire it very much. And I look forward to having choices, right? Because freedom is everything. And if freedom is everything that we want and need and want to feel, then why are we living in the expectations and rules? How does that create abundance in your life? How is that providing you with prosperity? How is that giving you the tools and the codes to achieve the great success that you've always been looking for? If you're so worried about checking off the boxes, someone else's boxes, generational cycles, that's not worth. That's slavery consciousness. And I don't know about you, but I don't live in that world. I live in a world of freedom, of choices, of being able to fully express who I am in my divine power, because I'm in that ocean of love with the divine always. And how do I do that? Well, I line up with my feelings and I get used to it. And I make it a practice to be one with my divine self, because I am universal love, and so are you. You are loved and you are love. Remember that. So your homework, because I couldn't leave you without giving you an exercise. Can't just drop bombs and not give you an exercise. Ooh, almost threw you off the cliff here. And I'll post this in a separate post. This will become part of the guides. So you'll see this video again in the guides, and the homework in the guides as well in the group section, okay? So if you want to grab a piece of paper and a pen, and we're going to journal, and we're going to feel. And when I post this question into the group, you can put your answer underneath the question, and I'll put the instructions in the group after this video is done. Okay? So, here it is. What are my expectations that I currently have for myself and others? What are my expectations that I currently have of myself and others, or for myself and others? And why am I blocking myself from feeling? Why am I blocking myself from feeling? What are my expectations, and why am I blocking myself from feeling? And then if you want to start to practice the head to heart alignment, go back into your body, feel the places of tension, ask the body, what does it need? What is it feeling? What does it need? And then invite your heart in. And allow these two to have conversations back and forth until you land in that feeling of release. And we release through tears. We release through feeling our feelings. Tears, the ocean. Whoops. Sorry about that. What are my expectations that I currently have for myself and others? And why am I blocking myself from feeling? Yes, thank you, Dana. My friend, my love, my divine sister, I see you. I hear you. I love you so much. I am in so much gratitude that you stayed here and watched this video today, that you were part of this experience. And this is just day one of Radical Receiving. Tomorrow, we're going into, tomorrow, Inner Queendom, mastering your inner game for ultimate inner peace. We're also going to be talking tomorrow about faith. And I'm not talking about the religious faith. It's not dogmatic. But how do we fully feel faith come over our body so that we fully trust? And how do we process? Okay, that's the only how that you get to do is the processing. How do we process? And I'm going to show you that through that temper tantrum. I'm looking forward to showing that to you. I'm going to be in a different room tomorrow, in my bedroom. So you get to see the magic of me going through this process. Now, tomorrow, you are more than welcome to lie down in your bed if you have access to it. You are also more than welcome to be in the practice with me and going through the motions with me and feeling them with me. Because I think it's really important for you to understand how to do this, how to go there with yourself. And this is the magnificence that we queens are allowing ourselves to be in. And when you lift that veil and you unmask yourself, guess what happens? You reawaken the queen within. And when a queen is reawakened, from head to toe, she starts to ground in her roots. And when she grounds in her roots with her septacle and her crown, nothing stops her. Because she aligns to magnificence. She aligns to her power. She breaks rules. She is rebellious. She is sought after. She is an energetic match and vibration that people are attracted to. And a queen that is in emotional integrity, there's nothing sexier than that vibe. And if you don't know what emotional integrity is, I suggest that you look it up. Because when we're out of that emotional integrity, what happens? We can't feel. So a queen that is in her being, in her feelings, in her desires. She goes out and she kicks ass. And she tears shit up. Because she trusts. She knows who she is. She knows that she's love, and she knows that she is loved by the divine, by herself. She don't need anybody else telling her that. You are that queen. You are that woman. You are your own desires. You. Don't forget that. Okay? And know that tomorrow, I'm going to be really swimming in that inner peace. And I look forward to seeing you then. Have a beautiful rest of your day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.